Hello everybody, I'm TheSweetBro27 and welcome to another Dokkan Battle video. So in today's video, we're going to be looking over all the character EZAs that we could be expecting to see in the global 8-year anniversary. Some of them are phenomenal, some of them are mediocre, some of them are just okay, and then in the case of this Hercule here, they're outright trash. So we're going to start with him first, the two free-to-play characters. So first we have this Hercule here, who could have been something a lot greater than what he is, but he's just terrible. Like, looking at his kit here, I mean, there was potential, but he just kind of shit the bed once he EZA'd. So he's supposed to be like a defensive support-oriented character for the World Tournament category that has this interesting little caveat down here. High chance of reviving with 50% HP recovered when the character is KO'd starting from the 6th turn. That's awful. This guy also does not fit on the current World Tournament category team with Majunior or the Tech Goku, Roshi, or excuse me, what's his name? Jackie Chun. He doesn't fit with any of them really. With the new World Tournament team, you were not running this guy at all, especially since most of those are the DB Saga era, so you have like Incredible Adventure and Guidance of the Dragonballs. You have those sort of links powering that team. Meanwhile, this guy, he provides nothing. I wouldn't even say in like Super Battle Road he really provides anything. I mean, again, he is a free-to-play unit. He can definitely help certain like new-to-play characters, free-to-play characters, or players who don't have a strong basis for the World Tournament team but would want to run it for whatever reason without having the new Piccolo, Jackie Chun, Krillin, any of them. I guess you could run him, but this is just terrible. With how valuable KO revivals are now with, I mean, you have Bird Ku's revive, who gives him the guaranteed guard for the rest of the battle. You have the Tech Goku, where if any character revives on the team, he gets those massive boosts to his stats, which I guess you could do with this Hercule. There's the STR, GT Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, who, when they revive, they do that massive Spirit Bomb that just kills literally any boss in the game with their attack stacking. There are so many revives. Revives is such a crucial thing to have, and there's only a 50% chance you can even get it, and you have to wait 6 turns from the start of battle, and you can only do it once. Now, if it was like a 50% chance, but you could do it multiple times, that would make this character amazing. You could keep literally everything else the same, but make this just a 50% chance at any time, and he can do it more than once. This character would be goated. You would literally run him on every World Tournament team. You could get rid of his support. His whole passive could just be high chance to survive with 50% HP. And then this character would have value. Massively raises defense. That doesn't matter. He's still dying. I mean, you could even get on turn 6. You could be in a situation where his revive doesn't proc and you die. Or you survive with a sliver on your next turn because he is not defensive enough to survive anything. His links are terrible. I mean, you're not going to run... On any of these teams, you're really not going to run him. There's no point to this guy other than just completing box space and getting the free stones that you're going to get by completing all of his missions to unlock him. Now, this one is relatively interesting. I'm very excited to run this Babidi. I love Babidi. The Majin Buu saga is probably my favorite saga in all of Dragon Ball. Hot take. He's an extreme class support. He gets different boosts when he's fighting extreme class allies and super class allies. Yeah, he has a high chance to evade when there's a super class enemy. 2 key to extreme class allies, 10% crit chance, and 40% attack and defense when there's an extreme class enemy. Yeah, he's just a good little support. Well, right now, all the hardest difficulty, except for the Gammas, which are a genuine fight. The Gammas are super hard. You're really not going to be getting this high chance of evading. But just the support. So you can run him against, like, the Cell Max event, and his support will be good. And I just love his minions, Pui Pui and Deborah. His animations are sick. I'm very, very excited to grind this guy up. He does also have a standby, which is probably the biggest letdown of this character, because this is one of my favorite Majin Vegeta moments. It's so evil what he does, how he just heartlessly kills all those people, and it also gets that really cold moment of like the Supreme Kai trying to get Goku to like not fight him, and then Goku tries to kill him anyway. Like that's raw. But half the time you're not even going to see this animation, because when you fill up his finish charge attacks, this one, Majin Buu's Resurrection, it is Majin Buu who does the attack, not even Majin Vegeta. So Majin Vegeta is literally only here just to do this right here, this tanking, depending on how much ki you get. And this guy sucks. From what I've seen in the standbys are all supposed to be very defensive, or they're supposed to be very offensive. He's supposed to be defensive, as you see here. He doesn't have a super attack. This guy cannot attack except when doing the finish attack. But he just does not get enough stats. Like 30% damage reduction with 15 keys, not enough. 80% defense. Yeah, so he's only getting 80% defense and 30% damage reduction if you get 15 key with him. And neither one of these attacks, the Majin Buu's Resurrection nor his Imperfect Control attack, don't really do enough damage to warrant you going into a standby for 5 turns. I was looking at the wrong one. I didn't even look at him when he was EZA'd. So let's see here. Oh, so he gets 40% now. He recovers 10% HP. Okay, so he does get a little bit better when he's EZA'd. Did I look at Bobbity EZA'd, I wonder? Yeah, no, I did. Okay, so that's what Bobby looks like when he's EZA'd. So even still, this is just not enough. He doesn't do enough damage. If you can watch showcases of this guy, I will probably do a showcase of this guy just because I love Majin Vegeta and I love Bobbity. I think they're so cool. But yeah, 10% recovery at the end of the turn with 18 key, that's not enough. I mean, I've seen this guy against the Metal Cooler Court, and he just gets absolutely demolished. And his whole point is to be defensive. He can't attack until you do the finish attack, and even when you do the finish attack, it's pathetically weak. His links do change when he goes from Bobbity to Majin Vegeta, which is weird, because the leader skill is Inhuman Deeds, and you're going to want to run Bobbity with other Inhuman Deeds characters like the Golden Friezas, other Deborah characters. You're not going to be really running him with characters where you can get these links off. So his link set is terrible too. So just, the standby sucks. It was a waste of such a good moment. Apparently, like, the JP players are really pissed off about it as well. But I think this guy will have some use. He will be a decent pickup. Again, you're going to get a lot of stones for grinding this guy up. He is the other free-to-play character. And his support's not bad. But now we're getting into, like, the real meat and potatoes. So these next two characters here, I don't actually have in my box. But they both seem very good, and that's another thing I love about EZAs, is you don't need the character to get the stones. So there are 6 EZAs, so there's Part 1 EZAs, Part 2 EZAs, and then there's the EX Part EZAs, which are these. You get 30 stones by completing all the steps of the EZA, and then if you complete the 3 missions that are tied to it, you get an extra 3 stones. So if you complete all 6 EZAs and do all the missions with them, you're going to get 198 free-to-play stones. That is almost enough to do 4 multis right there. If you just get 2 more stones from beating, like, these guys, I don't know how much you would get from these guys, from their events and their missions, because I don't have access to what their missions are, other than, like, when you beat the stage, you get the 2 stones and whatever. But, like, just by doing all these, you're going to be able to do quite a few summons on any of those banners you want, or you can just save them up. But this guy, he is interesting. He is very, very interesting. So he is quite weak, but this 80% damage reduction against normal attacks is very vital and will give this guy a place in the meta for a long time to come. So with this whole, this whole celebration, we're getting the new hardest event in the game, which is the Sin Shinron event. And Sin, his normal attacks do so much damage, even some top tier teams can't tank because they have one character that is just too weak to survive. the normal attacks because he does AoEs. AoE attacks count as normals. So this guy is taking next to nothing in the Sin Shinron event. And I know it says counters with tremendous power. Every time he gets hit, he's like the STR Vegito and the Ant Super Vegito, or not Ant, what, AGL. So he'll always do a little bit of chip damage, but again, he is far too weak. I mean, he gets up to 120% attack with a medium chance of performing a crit. He gives himself a little bit of defense and chance to perform a crit after he receives 3 attacks. He's fine. You're only going to run him in certain events, like the Sin Shinron event, where there are characters who are on your team who cannot take normal attacks. Which is right now the only event that would really be it. That would be the case, would be the Sin Shinron event and maybe the Tech Cell Max event. Those would be the 2 places you'd really want to run this guy if you had no other options. He does also raise allies' attack and defense by 30% for 1 turn on his super attack effect, so he doesn't give himself any stats on his super attack, which kind of sucks. He's getting all of his stats from his passive by doing attacks and receiving attacks. You're really not going to want to throw this guy in slot 1 because he doesn't have any protection against super attacks, as you can see. So 1 super attack will probably kill this guy, so he's super risky to run by that same logic. So you could run him in the Sin Shinron event and he could eat every single normal, and then you could be at full health, 1 super attack, you're dead. So you really, really got to be careful with this guy. Then up next, again, I don't have this guy, but this is the STR Super Boo, who has 3 different forms in his first form here. So he transforms on turn 5, and then depending on how much HP you have, depends on which form you get. So looking at his passive here, he's very weak in base. Like right there, that's his whole passive. He gets 1 key, 120 to stats, raises his defense by 120 with the more HP he has, the more defense he gets. He gets an additional 60% to stats when attacking, and he gets an additional 60% defense when receiving attack in the same turn. Not very good. He's not doing a lot of damage with his attack, because again, his stats are super low. He does lead a very good team, though. Extreme STR and Transformation Boost. I don't know why you would want to run him as leader, but you could do that. He has a good link set. All the Majin Boos do. I mean, Brutal Beatdown, Metamorphosis, Infinite Regeneration, Fear and Faith. The Wall Standing Tall. What is this thing? Okay, so this is like the... Okay, so it's Super Boost, couple boosts. Okay. Okay. And what does it give? Disables enemy true power. What does that mean? I don't know, if like the enemy raises its attack, maybe that nullifies it? I'm not entirely sure what that does. But let's look at all the different forms. So let's look at the worst one first, which is Bootang. So if you got this guy, you would be upset. Because look at his passive. Look at his passive. That's not good. So you transform into him when you have either 50% to 79% HP. And one reason this guy is super risky, not a whole lot of people like him, is how inconsistent he is. You are not guaranteed to get any form, like you might want Boo Piccolo for his great defensive healing capabilities. You might want Buhan for his oppressive attack power. You never want this Gotenks. But it is out of your control which form you get. It's based off of the 5th turn, how much HP you have. I know a lot of the Boos do revive or recover HP with their stats, and at their end of turn abilities and through their passives. Which can also screw you over, because you could like be at like 49% HP, but then all your recovery, oh shit, now you're at 60 and now you get this guy. I mean, he recovers 10% HP at the start of turn, which can be useful. He gets no stats on his super attack, which is terrible. 1 key, 180% attack, 100% 40 defense, gets an extra 80 when attacking, 80 when it's an attack down, and great chance of launching an additional super attack for 6 turns. Where are you even using this guy? Because no event from turn 5 lets the enemy be an attack down or defensive down. I've never noticed that before when I've seen other people talk about this unit. Where are you using that? I know he can do it, but once you get in later events, like this deep into the fight, the enemies nullify that. Great chance of launching an additional. So I guess this form is supposed to be like an attack guy, but he really doesn't even have all that much stats. I mean, Overrun Flash is good, Metamorphosis is good, Fear and Faith, Kamehameha. Yeah, not great. Not great, Bob. If you get this guy, you're upset. Now, this is probably, like, the best form, honestly, which is Boo Piccolo. Massively raised defense for 1 turn. That is a 100% stat buff, by the way. And immense damage to the enemy. This guy is crazy. He recovers 20% HP at the start of turn, 140 to stats. Oh, he saw support. Okay. So he gets 3 ki, 40% to allies, 40% defense. Reduces damage by 50% as the first or second attack on a turn. Gets an additional 60% defense on all allies, 40% attack. And chance of performing a critical hit, 8% as the third attack on a turn. And then he, for this first 6 turn from first appearance, he recovers another 10% HP at the end of turn. This guy is awesome. This guy is awesome. I like how he's very versatile. You can throw him in slot 1. Take a couple of attacks, massively raise his defense, eat a super. He's recovering a lot. I mean, that's 30% HP recovered for his first 6 turns. But yeah, this guy is crazy. This guy's crazy. He gets Brainiacs, which you're really not going to get with any of the teams. Demonic Waves are not good. I guess that's the fault of him absorbing Piccolo. You get these 2 Piccolo links, but you're never really going to activate that. And then this is the one everyone talks about, because this guy is crazy, to be fair. Greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns. That's crazy. And especially if you get a lot of additionals, these all stack on top of each other. So he can very quickly become a menace to society. It recovers 12% HP, 2 ki, 180 stats, plus an additional defense boosted by 120, same as his base form. He gets an extra 80 when launching an attack. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack and a great chance of guarding all attacks for 6 turns. High chance of guarding. Okay. So he's a chance to guard character, which isn't great. So it's a great chance to guard. So for his first 6 turns, he has a great chance, which is 70. And then from his 7th turn, he has a 50% chance. That's fine, honestly. Looking at, oh, he has big bad bosses. Ooh. And shocking speed. Okay, never mind. This guy's crazy. So you want to pump as many additionals into this guy as you can. A little bit of dodge to carry up like all his weaknesses. I think, yeah, just a little bit of dodge, mostly wanting to go for additionals, trying to get this guy or this guy. I think this guy is better, but you would want this. Well, no, because the Majin Buu team, you really need a defensive character. So they don't have a really good defensive-oriented character. They have plenty of offensive beasts. Super Buu can do a lot of damage, the LR. Kid Buu, he's a damage dealer. He's incredible. So you wouldn't necessarily need this guy. But what they don't have is someone who could take a lot of hits, and not to mention this support goes crazy. I don't know. I like this guy. Again, I don't have him in my box, but his main flaw is, one, the inconsistency of it. You're never going to get to pick which one you got. Under 50% HP, you get Boo Piccolo. 50 to 79, you get Gotenks, and then 80 or above. And his links change, so he's a little inconsistent. I don't know. And you have to wait till turn 5. That's another problem. So you have just this really shitty unit for the first couple turns of battle, and then there's no guarantee that you're even going to get one of the good ones. But he's interesting nonetheless. Again, not in my box, but I'll gladly take the 33 stones from completing all of his missions. Now we get to the part 2. This guy's a letdown. He's good, but he's not good enough, especially compared to the next unit we're about to talk about here in a second. He gets 159 to stats, randomly changes key spheres to rainbow key spheres, and he gets an additional 2 ki per rainbow key sphere obtained, 10% attack and defense per key sphere obtained, and an additional 7% per Super Saiyan category allies attacking the same turn. High chance to crit by 7% and reduces damage by 7% per rainbow key sphere obtained. So the problem with this guy is, when you create a bunch of rainbow key spheres, ideally you want to go in slot 1 if you need rainbow key spheres. This guy's not a slot 1 unit. Because you're not going to get enough damage reduction to eat anything. He's on a lot of teams, so he is versatile. He has a pretty decent link set, but he's just not good enough. He can get up to like a 10 million attack stat. You can get like a decent chance to crit. He's going to be 18 key supering very easily. He doesn't stack anything. They're all just temporary boosts. He's another Super Saiyan Goku, so I don't know why you'd ever run this guy over Birdku. I mean, I would run the Worldwide Download Celebration Goku before I would run this guy. The Int one. He has the utility of being a Rainbow Changer, or a Rainbow Key Changer, which could help other units, but he needs them. His entire passive essentially is revolved around him randomly changing key spheres. Because he gets another 2 key per Rainbow Key Sphere. He gets 10% attack and defense per key sphere. If you run him with a bunch of other Super Saiyans, he gets extra stats. And then, so yeah, all but 2 sentences. Though how much stats he gets at the start of turn, and the buff he gets from other Super Saiyan allies. Everything else about this guy is revolved around that, and that's just not good enough. I mean, yeah, he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage. You're never going to get this lower enemy defense. For an LR, not good enough. He is an option. You can run him. I bet he would be fine. But I don't think he would be able to eat any sort of super attack. Because again, you're not going to be able to get him the Rainbow Orbs he desperately needs to be good. On a more positive note, though, we have this guy, who is insane. Genuinely insane. He's an attack stacker, and he has one of probably the most damaging active skill in the game. Probably more so than the 8-year anniversaries. This guy can probably do more damage than that. So let's see what he's got. He has 159% stats, guards all attacks, and launches an additional attack with a high chance of becoming a super attack for 5 turns when there is a Universal Survival Saga category enemy or ally attacking in the same turn. That is insane. So if you've never used this guy before, to use the Spirit Bomb right down here, we're gonna jump down a little bit. As you can see here, causes ultimate damage to the enemy and raises allies attack by 30% for 1 turn. Pretty good effect. Can be activated when HP is 59% or less, with 3 or more Reps of Universe 7 category allies on the team. So if you run this guy, you can use both LR UI Gokus, and then you can use the free-to-play physical UI Goku. He has a 50% chance to dodge, and the 2 LRs have 70% chance to dodge, although the STR one gets down to a 50% chance to dodge from turn 7. This guy can carry a dead team. Universe 7 is dead. This guy alone, with just this one sentence, like, I haven't even read his full passive. Up to here, he's incredible. He can entirely revive a dead team. You run 2 of him, you run the UI Gokus in slot 2, this guy in slot 1. For the first couple turns, he's going to be eating good. Let's continue on. Plus an additional 10% attack with each attack received, up to 59%. Gets an additional 59% attack when performing a super attack, plus an additional attack plus 59, and attacks effective against all types when performing a super attack when HP is 59% or below. That's irrelevant, because you can only do it the 1 time. But even still, like, this right here, so he gets up to an extra 60% of the stats after he's received enough attacks. Like, he's just crazy. And you just throw this guy, you give him a lot of crit for this. I almost wouldn't go any dodge for him at all. I love full dodge builds. I normally go full dodge, and then I put the rest into additional with most characters. This guy, I almost want to give him, like, full crit, and then put the rest into dodge, or the rest into additional, so that this has a higher chance to crit. But yeah, just having the ability, so he launches an additional with a high chance, so you're guaranteed to do at least 2 attacks per turn. There's a 50% chance that second attack will be a super attack, which is crazy. And all you have to do is run another Universal Survivor category ally, which if you're running this guy, you're using him to get this active skill off. So you just easily, again, just throw on the UI Gokus. And then once, like, Universe 7 gets, like, revitalized with another celebration, it's going to be crazy. Imagine LR STR UI sign EZA. We already have the physical physical 17. He's crazy. You give him the blue boys, the physical LR. When they EZA, like this team is gonna go nuts because you can just run him, 17, the blue boys, and then the 3 UI Gokus, and then boom, you have a competitively viable team that can crush any event in the game. This guy is awesome. I'm so excited for more Reps Universe 7 buffs. This guy's crazy. However, he's probably not as crazy as these two. The 5-year anniversaries and the EX part, which is like the very end of the celebration, like the last couple of days, these guys are EZA. They have very similar kits, so I'm just going to look over, I guess, Vegito, because they changed in the second state. They raise attack, stack attack, that's good. They have good looter skills, good links. 140 to stats, 4 key, and 100% defense when attacking. Launches an additional that has a great chance of becoming a super attack as the first or second attacker on the turn. Launches an additional super attack with a great chance of evading enemies' attacks as the third attacker on a turn, and then transforms when conditions are met. So how you're going to want to play these guys after their EZA is you just keep them in slot 3. You are the exact same, right? Yep. You want to just keep them in slot 3 until they transform. They transform on turn 5, and then you get these unstoppable behemoths. So he evades enemy attacks, includes super attacks for 1 turn. So the first turn you have this blue fella right here, or this blue fella right here, 100% chance to dodge. Throw him in front of as many super attacks as you want, taking 0 damage. That's incredible. 150 to stats. Key plus 5 launches an additional super with a medium chance of launching another additional super as the first or second attacker on the turn. This is what I was talking about, his consistency. So he's launching so you do any attack, he's guaranteed doing another super attack, and then a 30% chance of launching another one. 7 key launches an additional super attack and a great chance of evading enemies' attacks as the third attacker on a turn. He gets an additional 1 key up to 5 and up to 88% stats with each attack performed, and then launches an additional super attack when activating the active skill or key is 24. That's insane. This guy's insane. Again, you're going to want to keep him in slot 3 most of the time. I guess you could do him in slot 1 or 2 if the situation called for it and you get that off. Or you can do what most people would recommend doing, which is when you can use his active skill. So you can throw him in slot 3, use the active skill, and it will proc this part of his passive. You can then throw him into slot 1 or 2, which will proc this part of his passive. Because when you use this, it counts as a super attack, as seen here. It counts as a 24 key. So you would be activating both parts of his passive, even though he's in slot 2. Which is just the final Kamehameha. It can be used when HP is 50% or less, starting from the next attacking turn, which is goated. It will do incredible damage. And again, this guy's very similar, but he does have his differences. So it's the same here. Attack 150. 5 key launches 2 additional attacks, each with a medium chance of becoming a super attack, and attacks effective against all types as the first or second attacker on the turn. So right there, if you have him in slot 1 or 2, you could get up to 3 super attacks right there in just that one part of his passive. 7 key launches an additional super attack with a great chance of evading enemy super attacks. That's the third attacker on the turn. Again, that's the same as Vegito. That's the same as Vegito. And then performs crit when activating his active skill or when he is at 24. So again, if you're looking for consistent damage and whatever, you do this guy. If you want that that wild card who could absolutely destroy enemies, you're doing this guy. He is so explosive with his damage. I mean, to be fair, so is Vegito. Don't get me wrong. And their OSTs, they have new custom OSTs for their active skills, which they're so good. I'm so excited for these guys in particular. But that will do it for this video of all the EZAs we can look forward to receiving in the upcoming 8-year anniversary. We'll keep it on Gogeta there. So let me know down in the comments below what you think, because again, there's just 2 days from the time I'm recording this. I'm recording this on the 5th. Only 2 days away before we start getting some of these in the game. Again, these guys will start off as just TURs that can EZA. This guy will pop up eventually, and then part 2. I think these guys dropped with the Carnival banners, if I remember correctly. But yeah, let me know. Are you guys excited for all these EZAs? Are you excited for the 8th year anniversary? Or are you a JP player who already experienced this? Doing these events is a great way to get Dragonstones, which is so important right now, especially with... Because after this, the 8-year anniversary, I'm pretty sure the Kale celebration is going down. And then after the Kale celebration, it's the worldwide download celebration. So for global players, we're always in that really awkward spot where there's 2 massive back-to-back celebrations with must-summon units. So it's really hard to save stones. So if you're one of those players who has a hard time saving stones or whatever, doing just these 6 EZAs right here, that's 4 multis, 198 stones. If you do the summons, and you're out of stones, you can do these guys. Again, you just beat those missions and all the stages. There's 10 stages for the LRs, and then there's 30 for the TURs. Get you a lot of stones that you can either save for worldwide, which I will probably be doing, or you can drop them on one of the 8-year banners, which isn't a bad option. Again, but like the headliner units, all headline units are crazy. I think this is the first time there's ever been a celebration where both well, no, that's not true. The worldwide download celebration last year. Because all the cooler units were good, even though part 2s were significantly worse. I wouldn't say that these are significantly worse, the carnivals of this year. But I'm going to quit rambling now. That will do it for this episode. Drop a comment. I would love to have some interaction. And let me know what you're thinking. But, as always, this has been the Sweet Bro 27, and I am signing off.